So Taylor, what how did the process go when you became a free agent, and how soon did the Falcons get in with you guys, and what was the deciding factor in signing with the Falcons, coming back home?
Yeah, so this whole process has been very new to me. This is the first time I was really a free agent where I can kind of explore my options. So it's been a very roller coaster of a process. There's lots of ups and downs. And Atlanta said they were interested from the beginning. I didn't know how interested they were, but there was some interest there. And um, honestly, I was about to sign back with Washington about 2 or 3 days ago, and Atlanta comes in with a better offer. And I sat back and thought about it. And my family's from around here. I'm from around here. My little nephew's going to be able to come see me at training camp and go to the game. So that was a big part of it. And I'm just happy to be home and do that for my family.
And if I recall one of the stories, you were a Brett Favre fan. Is there a Wisconsin tie? And now, how are you converting your people over to Falcon land?
So yeah, my dad was born in Wisconsin. So when I was born, I was automatically a cheesehead and grew up watching Brett Favre, and that's how I fell in love with the game. He had a lot of fun out there, lots of passion for the game. And that's what made me fall in love with it. So I've been trying to emulate him my whole life. And yeah, my mom, my sister, they're all going to be Falcons fans, and it's a very special moment.
Thank you.
Yep.
Josh Kendall?
Eyes muted.
I said I did it yesterday with Johnu. I swore I wasn't going to do it again today. I'm 0 for 2. Nice to meet you. I'm Josh with The Athletic. Can you just tell me how you're approaching this job? You've got a guy in Desmond Ridder, a young player who's the returning starter, such as it is, only started 4 games. What's your mindset as you come in here?
Yeah, try to be the best backup I can to him. Trying to help him in any way I can. I remember when I was a rookie and, my second year as well, we had Sean Hill in the room when I was in Minnesota. And, as a young guy coming in this league, there's a lot of things getting thrown at you from every direction. And it's hard to kind of balance, what's going on. So, Sean was a great mentor for me. He helped me a lot through that process. And I just hope to be the same to Desmond. If he needs anything from me or if I see anything that I can help him with, that's what I'm here for. So, I'm very excited to work with him.
So it sounds like the Falcons were fairly upfront with you as what they anticipated your role being.
Yeah. They drafted him high last year for a reason. They believe in him for a reason. He showed some good film last year, and again, if something unfortunate happens to him, I'll be ready to go. That's kind of been my life the last 3 years. So it's kind of the same territory.
Thank you, Tom. I'll keep going, Matt, if you don't have somebody else in the queue.
Josh, I can hop in real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Will, go ahead.
Hi, Taylor. First off, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
I'm curious, you mentioned, the last couple of years have been needing to step in or fill in if relied upon or called upon. Has that experience, in your mind, made you better suited to come in now and work with Desmond in a little bit more of a supportive role?
Yeah, 100%. Like you just said, last 2 years, after that playoff game, they brought me back for 2 years. And that first year, they brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick. He was going to be the starter. And unfortunately, he went down in the first game and had to play. And then last year, Carson Wentz coming in. I was trying to help him with the whole playbook throughout the whole offseason. He picked it up really well. And, again, unfortunately, he gets hurt in the eighth game of the year. And I had to go in there and fill in for him. So, again, I hope that doesn't happen to Dez. I hope the best for him and hope he stays healthy. But I feel like I've kind of gone through every situation you can kind of go through in football. And it's really kind of molded me to the player and teammate I am today.
And you mentioned your time with the Vikings, but I want to take you back to 2017 in Houston. You get a chance to work with T.J. Yates, another Georgia native, now here with the Falcons. I'm curious, did that relationship at all in Houston have any impact or kind of affect your decision in any way to come here to Atlanta?
No, I love TJ, but no. I'm happy he's here, though. We've always had a great relationship. From the moment I got to Houston, he was very receptive and, kind of taught me a lot. And we've kept in touch, throughout the years. So, he's a very special guy, good friend of mine, and I'm happy he's here.
Great. Thanks, man. Welcome back to Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Charles Odom, you have anything?
Hi, Taylor. As a self-described cheesehead from birth, I know obviously you've got Georgia connections as well. Did you follow the Falcons during your career with more than a casual interest based on your background, and what's your impression of how you fit and the offense that Arthur Smith has instituted here?
Yeah, I never really followed the Falcons when I was younger. Probably when Michael Vick was there, it was very exciting, and I probably followed him then, but not too much. Again, I was a big Packer guy, but with this offense, they've kind of changed the offense the last couple of years. It was different with Matt Ryan, and it was different with Marcus Mariota. I'm sure it'll be different with Dez. I think this staff does a great job of kind of putting their players in the best position to be successful. And, so I'm very excited to see what they do this year and, how I can help.
To follow up, I've been hearing about your popularity in Washington and how the fans liked you. And I've also been hearing good things from media there. When you had to make the decision, how difficult was it to leave Washington?
It was very tough. I feel like that's a home for me. I built a lot of great relationships there. There's a lot of great memories there. They gave me my second chance at football, and there's a lot of special people up there. But I'm going from one home to another. So it's a pretty easy process. But I'll be lying to you not to say I was a little heartbroken to leave those people up there.
You have any follow-ups?
Yes. Just want to go back to the 730-yard game against New Hampshire. I know little Stevie Timms, he's one of the cornerbacks in that game. He told me all about it. What do you remember about that game against New Hampshire?
So, yeah, that was our first true year in the conference in the CAA. And I think it was our first conference game of that year. And they come down to our place, and they put up 24 points in, the first 5 minutes. We're down 24-0 quick. And I remember my offensive coordinator coming up to me and saying, "Hey, we're going to throw the ball every play for the rest of the game." And I was like, all right. I thought he was kind of kidding. And 79 passes later, we come back and beat them 64-61. And that was a wild game. Yeah, threw for 730 yards and ran for 60 more. But the funniest part about that game was after the game, the head coach comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, he had 24 incompletions. You got to be better." So, it was one of those deals, but that was a very special day.
And the game, I believe it was your first NFL start against the Falcons in Carolina when Cam gets hurt. You almost went for, I think, a little bit over 300 there. Well, was that kind of your breakthrough? Like, hey, I can play in the NFL game?
I don't know. That was a tough game because I remember Grady Jarrett. He sacked me early in the first half, and I tried to brace myself and ended up tearing my tricep. And I thought that might have been my last game I ever played. So I remember just hounding the trainer saying, "Hey, give me everything you got. Put a brace on my arm. I'm getting back out there and playing." And the stats might look all right, but I also threw 3 picks and we got beat. So that was a tough day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Josh Kendall, any follow-ups?
Yeah, just to back check some biographical stuff. Your nephew, how old is he, and what's his name?
He's a year and a half old. His name is Jack Joseph. Call him JJ.
All right. Now, have you kept a home here?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Suwanee, and then in 2020, once I was in the XFL, and then once that kind of got old, I came back home. So I was living with my sister here in Flowery Branch, and I could, she was saying that she's, trying to start a family. And I was like, that's my cue to get the hell out of here. So I bought a house down the road. And so, yeah, I've had a house in Flowery Branch since late 2020. And, it's a nice, easy drive in.
I was going to say, are we talking like a 7-minute drive to work now?
7 minutes this morning it took to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 back roads and then, pulling up.
You're right there. Okay. That's all I got. Thanks, Tyler.